What's up, class? My name is Travis, and my topic is on overfishing. The presentation is called Coral Catastrophe, the Price of Overfishing. Overfishing occurs when the rate of the fish extraction surpasses the natural reproductive capacity of the species. Factors contributing to overfishing include excessive fishing effort. They use advanced technologies leading to rapid and efficient catches. There are also unregulated or illegal fishing, which is the lack of effective management and oversight, which leads to destructive fishing practices and has impact of methods like bottom trawling, which I'll explain later, on the ecosystem. Lastly, there is a lack of fish management, an absence of regulations and enforcement measures. Secondly, there are consequences to overfishing. There is ecological impact, which has a disruption to the marine ecosystems and biodiversity, and economic consequences, which results to the collapse of fisheries, job losses, and reduced income. There's also food security, which is a threat to crucial protein source for many communities such as salmon and tuna and all that kind of stuff. Um, Next, there's social ramifications, which conflicts over resources and increased poverty. Thirdly, uh, addressing overfishing. I will get to that later, but a brief overview is implementing sustainable fisheries management, promoting international cooperation, and encouraging fishing practices, responsible fishing practices. Next, there's the current status. So over 30% of the world's fish stocks are overexploited, harvested at an unsustainable rate. The impact is that there are depleted fish stocks, disrupting ecosystems and affecting biodiversity, leading to economic consequences. Third, there are global trends such as tuna and cod, which have seen significant declines in the recent decades. Fourth, there is overfishing, illegal practices, and inadequate management drive fish stock depletion. Last, there is a need for action, which urgent adoption of sustainable practices and global collaboration to address the root causes. Next is the impact on biodiversity. Overfishing significantly disrupts marine ecosystems, leading to a cascade of consequences, especially on biodiversity. Overfishing often targets specific species, leading to a decline in their populations and disrupting the natural diversity of marine life. Depletion of certain fish species can upset predator-prey relationships, impacting the abundance and behavior of other species within the ecosystem. The loss of key species through overfishing can trigger imbalances in the entire ecosystem, affecting the health and functioning of marine ecosystems. Bycatch, the unintended capture of non-target species, further contributes to the biodiversity loss by impacting populations of species not commercially exploited. Overfishing can harm delicate habitats like coral reefs, affecting the diverse array of marine life that relies on these ecosystems. The selective targeting of certain species can reduce the genetic diversity within populations, making them more susceptible to diseases and environmental changes. Lastly, biodiversity loss due to overfishing can have long-term consequences, making ecosystems more vulnerable to disturbances and less resilient to environmental changes. Unsustainable practices. Destructive fishing practices pose a severe threat to marine ecosystems. Examining two prevalent methods, bottom trawling and blast fishing, reveals their detrimental impact. Bottom trawling involves dragging heavy nets across the seafloor, indiscriminately capturing marine life. Destroys unsustainable practices like this destroy seafloor habitats, including coral reefs and nurseries, impacting biodiversity and disrupting the balance of ecosystems. Blast fishing involves the use of explosives to stun or kill fish, resulting in immediate catch. Blast fishing causes widespread destruction to coral reefs and habitats and kills non-target species and contributes to the decline of marine biodiversity. Destructive fishing practices are widespread, affecting marine environments globally. They also result in short-term gains, but have long-term economic repercussions. Inadequate regulations and enforcement can contribute to the persistence of destructive practices. What does sustainable fishing look like? Sustainable methods like selective fishing and gear reduce overfishing's ecological impact. They support and implement catch limits and size restrictions to ensure the long-term fish population health. MPAs, which are marine protected areas, contribute to biodiversity, support fishery replenishment, and act as natural buffers against climate change. International agreements aim to create MPAs for sustainable fisheries and biodiversity conservation. Solutions like these help us stay informed and engage in campaigns supporting these global initiatives. Lastly, consumer choices also impact marine ecosystems. So, the next time you go into the market, choose certified, sustained seafood, look for eco labels, and stay informed about the environmental impact of your choices. So, why did I choose this topic? Well, I chose overfishing because it is a big urgent issue that affects everything from marine life to people's livelihoods. The idea that our oceans are fragile and actually in trouble intrigued me. The coolest thing that I discovered was how everything in the ocean is connected. Overfishing messes that up because seeing how depleting fish stocks has this domino effect on biodiversity, it's very, very saddening, and we need to take note of this. So I thought I knew a bit about overfishing, but researching it was like a long way. I did not know anything about it. There's this whole deal with the destructive fishing practices, the global scale of the problem, and that these solutions aren't just about saving fish, but entire communities as well. I went from like we need to take worldwide efforts to tackle this mess, and it's not just about the fish, it's about like the whole ecosystem. How does it affect me personally? Well, overfishing hits close to home because seafood is a big part of my diet, and it's scary to think about a future where the fish on my plate might be a rare delicacy. I want everyone to experience the taste of fish because I enjoy that. Knowing that communities depending on fishing are facing economic hardships due to overfishing, and it's just a reality check. Reflecting, I realized that the ocean where overfishing is wreaking havoc is the same ocean I dream of exploring someday. The idea that the vibrant coral reefs and diverse marine life might not be there for future generations is disheartening to hear. So, what can I do about it? So what's my role in all this? I can start by being a conscious consumer. Opting for sustainably sourced seafood and spreading awareness among my peers can also create a ripple effect. Also, supporting initiatives and organizations working towards sustainable fisheries management is a small step that collectively makes a big impact. So, how will overfishing affect future generations? Well, in 20 to 30 years, if overfishing continues unchecked, we might witness a significant economic downturn in fishing-dependent communities. Depleted fish stocks mean fewer jobs and reduced income for those who rely on the fishing industry, potentially leading to increased poverty and social challenges. As fish populations decline, the availability of seafood, a crucial protein source for many, may become scarce. This could affect global food security, especially in regions heavily dependent on fish as a primary dietary component. Here are my 5 reference slides, and thank you guys for listening to my presentation.